we ever catch a break from this heat?
Sorry, it won't be tomorrow. Get ready for temperatures to feel like triple digits again, and I'll tell you when temperatures finally cool down.
The 8-year-old boy gunned down while playing video games. He was inside when bullets came flying in from outside.
We just gotta put these guns down, man, and stop killing these babies, because they don't deserve it, man. They deserve a future.
His family's calls for justice as police search for his killer. Brand new video just coming into the newsroom. A woman captured the moment D.C. police opened fire on a man, killing him.
Oh my God!
Where that investigation stands tonight. More school bells are ringing in Northern Virginia tomorrow. Loudoun County's superintendent is speaking to us about the first day of class. And Virginia Task Force 1 returns home after heading to Haiti following that deadly earthquake. Live from the nation's capital, this is WUSA 9 News at 11. Well, we start with the weather and some strong summer storms sweeping through Virginia, D.C., and Maryland. Perhaps you saw a little bit of what's happening. Julie in Fairfax County captured this lightning, just sort of lighting up the sky tonight. It was a similar story in Maryland. Jason filmed this video of a bolt striking in Glenmont.
Oh boy.
It's so dramatic, it almost doesn't look real, but it is. Good evening, I'm Leslie Foster here in the Weather Center with meteorologist Chester Lampkin. So what's happening now?
Well, so the lead story is actually going to be this heat, Leslie, but the storms, they've come to an end.
Thank you.
Yes.
If only the heat would.
Right, exactly. We have one or the other. That's what it seems like, right? We have more storms in the forecast going forward. Let me get you through tomorrow first. 94, that top temperature here in Washington. It's going to be another toasty one. Check out the storm reports. Not a ton of them, but wind damage reports across parts of Fauquier, Loudoun County, back into Jefferson County as well. And some storms across the area. They are falling apart as we speak. In fact, we're just left with a few sprinkles and light showers across the region here on this late evening hour. Tomorrow, another hot day, as I mentioned, temps in the 90s. And we'll have sunshine for most of the day. We may spark off a storm once again west of Washington. That heat index, that's going to be in beast mode. We're talking a heat index up around 100 degrees for your Thursday afternoon. If you're doing anything to try to cool off, like maybe grabbing some ice cream, you're going to want to make sure that you eat it quickly or take it inside. It's going to be a toasty one. I've got more on a cool down in a couple of minutes.
Chester, thank you. Our other top story tonight, an 8-year-old boy shot and killed while playing video games. The bullets came flying into a Prince George's County home, and his killer is still out there. And this story just shatters your heart. Now, we told you about this as it was breaking 24 hours ago, and tonight we know that 8-year-old boy was P.J. Evans, a beloved son, a student, a football player. Mike Valerio is live where this shooting happened, an apartment complex on Bright Seed Road in Landover, not too far from FedEx Field. And Mike, we are hearing from P.J.'s mother tonight, right?
Right, Leslie, and you know what? I will always remember something that PJ's mother told us off camera. She said that her son lived for 3 things: for football, for family, and for God. And it just so happens, Leslie, that there's a bishop right down the street who has offered to pay for the entire funeral expenses that this family is going to incur. But the bishop is not the only one standing with this family here tonight.
I love y'all, man. Y'all understand me, man.
PJ's mom surrounded by her son's entire football team and 100 neighbors. Everyone gathered here within minutes at 8:20 p.m. The time when someone opened fire in the parking lot Tuesday, killing PJ.
Y'all see that? Put that on your Facebook. We got an 8-year-old kid shot senselessly inside of our home.
Among the crowd, Bishop Joel Peebles of the City of Praise Family Ministries, right down the street. He offered to pay for PJ's funeral and help his mother.
Not just on day 1, we're going to provide comfort, not just on day 2, but our objective is to follow this family and other families like this that have struggled and that are hurting.
For now, the shooter is still out there. Prince George's County police say there are a lot of leads, but still no suspect announced. Meantime, a mother's message here tonight.
Y'all hug y'all kids every day. Because I hug mine, and I told my youngest every day I love him.
Unbelievable. I mean, just so heartbreaking. Okay, so Leslie, this is one of the wanted posters that were passed out here tonight, one of about several hundred. All of this information on how to help, if you know anything, certainly available on our website. And Leslie, one more thing before we go. You know, at the end of the evening, PJ's mother actually offered a prayer to St. Valentine for everybody in the crowd because her son was born on Valentine's Day 8 years ago, and she said that she hopes, Leslie, she hopes for that same vein of compassion for somebody out there watching our news who knows exactly what happened. Leslie?
It just shatters you. It just shatters you. And I just marvel at the strength of this mother to be able to pray for the community and pray for even the person who took her own son's life, and hoping that someone comes forward and does the right thing. Mike, thank you. I want to bring in Sports Director Darren Haynes, and we mentioned that PJ had a passion for football. Indeed, Chase Young from the Washington football team had something to say about this, right?
Yeah, Leslie, Chase Young, he met PJ while working out at the Gibson Performance Training Center in Capitol Heights. Here's a picture of PJ and Chase when they met. The NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year posted the same picture on his Instagram account saying, "Violence has to be stopped. Rest in peace, young superstar." When the two met, PJ became a Washington football fan, and Chase Young was his favorite player. Now, like PJ Evans, Chase Young is from Prince George's County as well, and so this one hits a little bit home for Chase Young.
It sure does. And, Chase has been pretty vocal about gun violence. He's always had a lot to say about stuff happening off the field. He's also talking about solutions, Darren. What's he talking about?
Well, I was speaking to Chase Young's camp, and you know what? He has plans to take action to stop gun violence just in general. I mean, Young already voices concerns about violence in the community during one of Prince George's County's town hall meetings. He already got a couple bills passed. And let's not forget, he majored at Ohio State in criminal justice, and his father was a police officer. So what Chase Young is trying to do to stop gun violence like what killed PJ Evans, that's in his blood and what he wants to do in this community.
Well, we need more people like him, for sure. Darren, thank you. Now to some other breaking news, heartbreaking news, this time out of Fairfax County, involving another child. We're working to learn more about a terrible drowning in Fairfax Station. Here's what we know right now. The victim is a child, and that drowning occurred at a private pool along Braymore Circle. Fairfax County detectives are investigating. Here's another developing story we're following. Two shootings involving D.C. police officers, and they happened within hours of each other, and one of them turned deadly. I want to begin with that shooting because we just got some new video from it, and that's not all. We're hearing from the woman who filmed what you're about to see. Jess Arnold is walking us through this video. It's a view, Jess, that we haven't seen until right now.
If that was me, I would want somebody to been there to have that, for me to speak for me if I'm no longer here.
Jordan White was driving to a friend's house around 3 a.m. Wednesday when she saw police surrounding a car on New York Ave Northeast.
Nowadays, you just record when you see stuff like that.
Police say the man was asleep in his car at a traffic light. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti says officers approached, spotted a gun in his waistband, called for backup, and grabbed ballistic shields. In White's video, we see at least 8 members of law enforcement around the car.
They were going up to tap on the window. The first 2 times they tapped and stepped back. And it was the third time they walked up to it and tapped it. And it's the car jerked a little.
Police say at one point the man woke up. After the car lurches forward and stops, it moves out of frame.
Oh my God!
At this point, we hear 10 shots fired. D.C. police said earlier one officer did the shooting.
Automatically, I'm what about his family? They don't even know this going on right now. I saw somebody last moments just like that, it was just quick.
The chief says the body-worn camera that was on is obstructed by a shield. Now, D.C. law requires that body-worn camera video to be released within 72 hours. Now, we reached out to D.C. police for comment on this new video and didn't hear back. And Jordan tells me that her 8-year-old twins were crouching down in the back seat through all of this. She said she always taught them to respect the police because they're here to protect them. But now she says she has to have a different kind of conversation. Leslie.
A different kind of conversation because this impacts everybody, no matter where you are. Jess, thank you. I mentioned that we're following 2 police shootings in D.C., and that second shooting happened around 6 last night along Minnesota Avenue in Southeast. Police tell us an officer responded to a call about a man suspected of using drugs, and they say that man pulled out a gun, and then the officer shot and wounded the man. He is expected to recover. This, too, is under investigation. So who keeps track of these police shootings? Is there a database? You asked, so we're verifying in 60 seconds.